Welcome to the Mind Body Podcast, the show where we explore the powerful intersection of mindset, well being, and performance. I'm your host, Devi, Mind Body Consultant, and in this show, we are going to talk about something that affects us all. How our mind influences our relationship with money and success. Today, we are joined by a special guest, Alina, the founder of Your Money Master Method, and she's a reprogramming coach. Her mission is to help 10 million people like you to reach their money goal in their life by working with your mind but not against it. She combines neuroscience, strategy, and universal laws to get you out of that state of burnout and scarcity to a mindset of clarity, flow, and prosperity. Hi, Alina. Welcome to the show, and it's my pleasure to have you here. And as I already introduced, what is your background earlier in the podcast? Let me actually ask you something. We all actually, as a human, been raised with a kind of a defined relationship with success and money, like a cause and an effect. And raised no fault on us. We have been raised by our parents who told us always study hard, work hard, and then you'll get the reward. Yeah, and that's what I was told, and I was raised in that environment. Okay? So again, now the situation is different. What I see the money towards, but for many years, my view towards money is I need to put some work in study, and then my role or the qualification is tied to the salary, what I'm going to get, and then I have to save a part of it, and then one day, finally, hopefully, I'll become wealthy. Okay. And that's the mindset I've been growing up. And so this is from a place of lack, okay, which I see because I don't have if I don't have a qualification, then I will not get that role. Okay, which I would love to do it. Okay. Or for example, if I see some new car, and I don't have money, I can't buy that car. So I have to work hard or get money for somewhere. And especially from working hard is the mindset I'm stuck with. Okay. So, which I'll be happy to work with you in your session later on. But so I wanted to start this podcast by asking, what is that one thing that sparked your transformational journey that you're doing this program for others? I would love to hear that.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Devi. It's such a pleasure. And I'm absolutely humbled to be here for you and for your audience. I'm happy to serve. So, what actually sparked my desire to understand more was the fact that in my family, my parents didn't have an emotional, not emotional, money education that I perceived I wanted to take later on in life with me. And not because I perceived they weren't doing well enough, but I perceived they weren't balanced regarding money. When money came into the discussion, they had such emotional charges towards money and towards the money decision that I get goosebumps just by telling this. So my mother made a decision at a point in her life to do a loan that really got our family in trouble. And that was the moment in which I perceived I don't want to do that, and I want to help others not to make those decisions. But what I discovered was that I had marketing clients, and I talked with them about after I quit from my corporate job that I had 9 years. For 9 years, I had a marketing agency, and I talked with people about them implementing certain strategies, and they weren't able to implement those because they had a lot of emotional baggage. They were fear. They had a fear of exposure. They had a fear of success. They had a fear of failure. And then I saw them all connected with money, and it all just made sense. And I created a system I work now with, and they started having results. So what sparked inside of me was the perception that the emotional baggage we have towards money is not the emotional baggage we should have in order for us to achieve more. So this really connects to your story, and thank you for the question.
Oh, wow. So actually, that's something which is really clicked my thought process towards. What you're saying to me is like, if you have an emotional baggage, then that is a blockage in the way to create the wealth you desire. Yeah, it's totally. So that's links up to my next question. Like your program is a mindset reprogram. Am I right? Reprogram
Yes.
mindset. Am I actually saying your program name right? Is it reprogramming mindset money or
It's
money
mind
man?
reprogramming. It's mind reprogramming.
Mind reprogramming. So this is actually then it's linked to you are going to transform people's mind
Yes.
into the way they actually have a relationship, a healthy
Yes.
relationship. And do you think that we all should have a healthy relationship with money?
Oh, so I think people don't really understand what a healthy relationship with money would mean at first,
Yeah, I
because
love to
we
hear
don't,
that.
yeah, sometimes the way we think is just the way we are and the way we do things. We don't always put into perspective our way of thinking because it's just something that it is. And then when they enter a certain masterclass or they hear a certain podcast such as yours, they start wondering what would another way of thinking about money would look like.
Hmm.
So, in my perspective, there are patterns that worked a few hundreds of years ago that don't really work in our world, and we just have to adapt the mindset for the current world. If 500 years ago you would have never traveled alone, never connected to the info, you would have printed books on paper or maybe wrote them. Today you can have them instantly. Maybe you can write a book in 2 days with AI. So that's a pretty crazy shift. So I think the question is, what is your mindset towards money? How do you see money now? And if this perspective helps you reach your goals. If it doesn't, then you have to pivot in some way.
Mhm. Mm. Okay, I love that. I love that response. So your messages again and again actually nails down that you need to change the way the emotional traumas, I would put it that as trauma, like which you had with your money in the past, because our childhood experience really actually shapes the way what we actually think towards have the relationship with a person or an object or a money, for example. So that matters a lot. Hope I understand. Yeah. Okay. From what I'm actually hearing is your program, you mentioned earlier that in your bio, what you provided, your aim is to help 10 million people to earn more by changing their mindset towards money. Yeah. And so I believe so you would have actually come across many thousands of people so far, and you would have helped those people. And your program might have created many waves in people's minds. So I wanted to understand, like, what really the program is, because it's creating my curiosity to know what really the program is. Because you mentioned about the neuroscience tools and the bio, so I wanted to know that what is that you use. Apart from other people, because many people now offer life coaching, yeah, which also then there is a we cannot make a clear distinction between life coaching and the career coaching, because both are tangled together in some parts of coaching, yeah, down the life. Because when you have to have a life, you have to a survival
Yes.
need is money.
Yes.
Yeah? So that's kind of thing. But what is your program? What does it makes it unique for people?
Yes. So my mission is to impact these 10 million people. And it's my vision to help people have a ripple effect in their community. So the program is structured in three ways. It's first the emotional dissolving of the perceptions of shame and guilt and increasing your self-worth. The second is having the right automations, marketing strategy, and sales. And the third is inspired action. I will talk about each and every one of these.
Yeah.
The mindset is, in my perspective, the iceberg, the part you don't see. The thing that you do is the inside work that you do that helps you make the right decisions and allows you to do the actions that are getting you the results. The second part, the automation, the marketing, the sales, is you crafting an image, a brand of yourself or of your product in the most efficient way for you to fulfill your vision. Because at first, when I start to work with clients, I am asking them, what would your ideal day look like? Would it be on a beach? Would it be working with clients? Would it have a container? Would it have a product? Would it be a book? Because it's super different. For me, for example, it's what I already do. So it's super different because based on that vision, you are building your business. And then the third step is inspired action, as in with the right mindset foundation and knowing that you can make fair exchange in money with other people because you provide value, you are there for them. With the right plan and automations in order for you not to work like a dog every day, you will do inspired action just by connecting the dots that your intuition and synchronicities will bring you, and the strategic plan, of course. In my perspective, having more money is not a manifesting as the internet says it now, because people often imagine manifesting like you staying in your bed doing some and then money will enter your bank account. I have a more practical, strategic way of doing it, as in we make a plan, even to make a plan in order for you to achieve your balanced inner world. Because if you have the perception at first that you are going to upset your mother, to upset your father, to betray your tribe, your family, to have maybe attacks, emotional or energetic, or be attacked on the street if you have those amounts of money, you won't be able to do the action. So the inspired action is more like seeing how on a granular level, on a daily basis, your ideal self acts in order for you to get what you want.
Great. That's so thoughtful, because I've actually came across one of the videos when you say of the
Yes,
manifestation.
yes,
It's not the Om type of video, but it's another video which I came across. If you have to have something in your life,
yes,
yeah, achieve something in your life, you need to believe that it already happened rather than you're waiting for it to happen.
yes.
Is that
So to
right?
act today, yes, Devi, sorry for interrupting. To act today as if you're that person, because
Yeah.
you cannot wait 10 years before you start being punctual, being serious, being firm, putting boundaries, having the right pricing. You have to act now, and you will attract the right people. And by attracting, I mean you'll put yourself out there in the name of God, and
Yeah.
you will be seen, and people will just connect to your message instead of you staying in a dark room somewhere and hoping to manifest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you. Thank you for that, Alina. And let's move on to the next one. I believe that your coaching program, would you
Yes.
call it a coaching program or anything different?
It's actually a method. It's your money master because may I tell you this short story if
Sure. Sure. I
okay.
love to hear stories, actually. So, yeah.
you. Thank you. So I'm still super inspired with you today. So you created an amazing space, and I'm sure the message will reach the right, just the right people. So a while ago, I was talking with a friend. He's been a good friend of mine. He was a friend that I had coffee after I quit my job, and I told him, Paul, I don't have money. I am afraid of starting my business, and he just coached me, and we have an amazing relationship so far since that moment. So I was telling him, Paul, I want to start this method. This name came to mind, your money master, and he said, Alina, that's so arrogant from your part. Because if I would see you, you're young, and that if I would associate you with your money master, I would perceive you just being full of yourself. But then I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it, but with a twist. I want people to be their own money master in order for them not to give their power to someone else when it comes to money. Because we often say, I'm gonna give my power to the bank. The bank will take care of my money. I'm gonna give my power, if you're a woman, maybe in certain countries, to my husband. He will take care of that, or he will provide. But I don't think that's the right way to do it.
Mm.
You have to be your money master. So this is actually the packaging I've put to it. And my mission is to help these 10 million people that really have to empower themselves to make a ripple effect in their future generations, to empower themselves from a money level.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I'm just actually so inspired by the way you're more kind of persuasive, like you wanted to achieve something and you wanted to do this, and that had helped you to grow in this space. I believe so. Yeah. And also, Helena, to add on to that one, initially I started at the podcast saying that, especially myself, earlier days, I was working from the place of lack. Okay, I need to work harder to get the money, and I have many qualifications stuck to my name behind. But like, am I actually a millionaire? No, not yet reached that point yet. Okay, but am I so kind of jealous or of others? No, I'm not jealous of others, but I still have the question why I'm not able to reach that place. Okay, what is lacking? And the lacking is the question which is unanswered, and still I'm hoping. Yeah. So by doing whatever I learned and contributing to community and other things. But putting this aside, there are other people, even the millionaires actually, I wouldn't say many of them, but some of them might have this kind of place where they don't have a healthy relationship with the money. Yeah. And so, how does your program help them? Because again, everyone has emotional, we are full of emotional baggages. And, but apart from that, putting that emotional baggage part of it, how is this program going to work with those people? Because if you have money, you can buy everything. They should be happy. Am I right? So, but why is that they also have the problem?
Yeah. So at first, when we start talking about money, we see what perceptions do the people have. If they see money as enemy or friend, or if they perceive that money is something that will maybe give them freedom or security. There is so much emotional attachment towards money, but money, if you perceive it, it's only an instrument. You have to see what is your perspective towards money. And I love to talk with your audience because I want to give them practical advice. Take a sheet of paper right now while listening to me and Devi and write all of your perceptions towards money. How do you see money? Friend, enemy, instrument. Um, it will bring illness. It will bring sadness. It will make me divorce. It will bring me freedom. I will be the happiest person on earth. Whatever it is that is not balanced, whatever it is that either has more minuses or more pluses, it has to be balanced in order for you to take attachment out of having money. Because you're either running from money, even if you say you want it, or you're running towards it and it's going to run from you because you want it that much. It's like it's a funny thing to say, but it's like you're someone with an umbrella watching the money in the distance and saying, "Oh, I really want it so bad." It's not the right energy to have it. You have to see money as equal, as an instrument. It's fair exchange. You're giving value. You are provided with value in this form, and so it's very important for me, David, to understand the intentions of the person I work with at first. If they have an amazing mission, I will definitely work with them. I will help them. But if they don't, I will respectfully decline their solicitation to work, because it's super important for me to help people that want to serve the community and not people that give money another purpose at first. And at second, sometimes people perceive that they don't have a bigger mission than maybe themselves or their family, and that they shouldn't have the money they want. But sometimes, even if your mission is to reach 10 million people as mine is, or to only be a good mother or father for your child, it's enough. So whatever your reason is, if it serves the community, that's the way you should do it.
Mhm.
So it's perfect for you. It's aligned for you.
Yeah, so that's really a wow answer, I would say, because like you touched the point that you said inspired action, intentions and other things earlier, the performative work. So if your intentions are not pure, yeah,
Yes,
and if your intentions are not aligning with value or the purpose
yes,
for the
yes,
better good of the community, because we all thrive as a community for
yes,
prosperity. So then that alignment, your work is not going to work for them, so you will decline that kind of intentions,
mhm,
or and you will politely then say that you can't help.
yes,
So you are in a place, in a better position, what you're saying to me, to help people who have a greater missions, and instead not a greater, but a good mission or ambition
yes,
or intentions, which is
yes,
actually having purpose and value for serving the community.
yes, yes.
Thank you very much for that. And
Thank you,
that's
Debbie. Because how does it serve you to have amazing talents if you are not putting them in the world?
sure,
You,
sure.
you're freaking nobody if you're staying alone in a room. So
Yeah, that's right. So that's really a, good kind of response I've heard from my guest today, and
I'm humbled.
my listeners are also actually valuing this perspective that if your good intentions are good, and wealth is going to be getting attracted towards you, and that's the message I'm getting here. Thank you, Alina. And let's move on to the next question. So, Alina, thank you for so long. You've been sharing that about your program and about who are you better placed to help and how people should have their relationship with money. And from your experience, your program might have created some incredible shifts inside people. And is it possible to share one or two stories, transformational stories you had?
Yes. So one of my most amazing clients, Nicoleta, she is a woman in an environment of men. She's having an auto park in a highly competitive area in Romania, in my country. And she has implemented some strategies after shifting emotionally. And she grew from 600K to 1 million in 1 year. And it was quite amazing. Hard as well. I'm not going to hide that, but she had amazing results. But one very fabulous result is Andrea. When she started working with me, she first asked, Alina, what happens if I'm not able to pay you? And I usually laugh when people say that. And I say, okay, let's just implement the work and we shall see after that what happens. So she grew from 3K to 18.5 in 1 month and a half. She's having a nail salon and she implemented some strategies that we discussed. But the matter of fact was that she was afraid of exposing herself. And after dissolving some perceptions she had, she was able to to do so. She delegated, she got a new girl in her team, and it was such an amazing example. Be super inspired on the beach while her colleague did the work.
Wow, that's real inspiring, and I believe that your program is actually making huge dramatic changes in people's life. From one example, where in a month she had actually started to earn double the amount what she was actually earning previously. Um, and you did mention about struggles where what I captured to my knowledge that she didn't have a person to work because she was doing all by herself, and there was another person need to support her as a team member. I mean, so and that had made a change. Do you think is that the only factor that made a change, or is it how did the program more contributed to a change then?
So the main change was the plan, the structure, and the mindset shift, but
Mhm.
also that she was coachable. And this is something that I really seek when I am working with someone, to be coachable, to implement, and to do a team with me, because our relationship is not transactional. I perceive this program as a program. Of course, it's a business for me. Of course, I'm not hiding that, but people that I work with are humans. I get immersed in their lives and experiences, and I want to understand what fears appear, what perceptions do they have, what guilts, what shames, what is their perspective about life? Because it's like having 6 or 7 glasses with different perceptions, and by the end of one session, we have the same level of water because we've balanced all of those, and an amazing thing happens inside. It's called equanimity, and that helps even the dopamine have an amazing level, cortisol decrease, and you just have goosebumps and feel inspired and feel on your mission. So what really helps, Devi, at the end of the day is I perceive having someone by your side and being sure that you can fall and someone will catch you if you do. And that someone will be there to cry with you, to laugh with you, to feel inspired with you, and then celebrate you when you get there.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I totally 100% agree with you. There should be someone who is ready to catch you, and you should have that type of person with you. That's brilliant. And in terms of when you talked about that dopamine and cortisol, increase in dopamine and cortisol, for an audience who are new to those kind of terms, it's dopamine is a happy hormone and cortisol is a stress hormone. So your program is going to help people who are going to engage with you meaningfully engagement, and that kind of type of people is going to have a high happy hormones in their life and body and life is going to look more good, and reduce in cortisol levels, stress level, because stress is a huge thing now. Boom in our boom pandemic, stress pandemic we are in. Like everyone is stressed, and more so stressed after the COVID pandemic with the lockdown and the fear of insecurity being locked down again or not. Hopefully we are not going to be locked down again, but fingers crossed. So yeah, thank you for that, Alina, for that perspective and what your program is going to deliver. And you've already explained an example what it delivered to a client. Thank you very much. So let's move on to the next question. So your client example, I believe so, would have given some hope to our audience who are listening. Now, I want to also to make this podcast really actionable, and people can actually say, yes, I'm going to go to Alina because this tip, what she gave today, is really working for me. So, any kind of, I'm really asking for a freebie today in this podcast that you can actually deliver to our audience. Yes, you can do this and you can change, you can see this change and then come back to me. So, what would you advise to our audience?
It's my absolute pleasure. So at first, I want you to do an exercise and to imagine that you have a perception about money, a guilt or shame in your fists, and to tighten your fists very, very, very hard. Then I want you to imagine that you are going to release it when I count to 3. At 3, when you hear 3, you are going to release it. But first, just tighten your fist
Okay,
with
you want
this
to, okay.
perception. Yeah, it's like you're having a bad thought about money or shame or guilt towards money. It starts to hurt. You feel your body tense. Even if it's in your fist, you perceive your entire body constricted because it's just concentrating here.
Okay.
1,
Mhm.
2, 3. Open your fist and release. Ooh! Oh, the dedication, Debbie.
I have released believe so. I released my lack feeling of money, what I already confessed in this
Yes,
video, that I have this feeling of lack. Okay, I have to have a higher qualification to get a higher roles and other things.
yes,
So, which I'm also having, and
yes,
but the money is at a distance from me, so I'm not sure what it is. But I'm just releasing. When he said
yes.
that, okay, I believe that I don't have a lack, and I want to release this lack feeling, and then I've just
Okay.
opened up my fist.
So
And this
before,
is the magic.
so inspired, Debbie. So actually, what would be the opposite of lack for you?
Um, more in
Possibilities?
terms, sorry.
Possibilities?
I would say instead of lack, I need to say I have instead of I don't have. So the lack is
Okay.
this is don't have. So my translation of the opposite to it, antonym to it, is I have. So basically, like I have this community, a non-profit running to people, and I don't have money to put in and run that non-profit for the people. Yeah. And it's also tied to my living as well. So that's something which I'm hoping. and I'm going to take your program and see how it's going to work for that.
You're a sweetheart. Okay, so I'm going to build on this because it's amazing if you allow me.
Sure.
Okay. So if you're someone that has the same perception as Debbie, take a sheet of paper and see what achievements, traits, actions, or perspectives you're bringing to the world that the universe has to pay, that you are deserving a payment from the universe. What will happen is that if you put maybe 10, 20, 50 achievements, good deeds, good thoughts, amazing traits you're having, what will happen is that your work level will increase, and you will see this in your reality. How? You will either receive gifts, people will call you with opportunities, you will have money in your account coming from out of nowhere, a client will give you an extra some bonus or money or gift or something. So this is amazing. I actually have 10 powerful questions or exercises such as this. And what happened, I worked with a client, with Bogdan. I'm going from one to another, Devi, but it will all make sense, I promise. I worked with Bogdan for 3 years, and he has big goals. He wants a lot of stuff, and he said, Alina, I'm growing. I've doubled my business. I had doubled my team, and I perceive I could do more. He was unhappy, and I said, you know what? Okay, let's do these 10 powerful questions and then see what happens. We did the powerful questions, and then my client called me and said, Alina, I got an inheritance of 300K out of the blue. And I said, okay, can you see now the synchronicity of you working 3 years like a duck with your little feet under the water, and you did not see the results, and now it's just happening? And we were both mind blown.
That's great. That's inspiring, actually. So now, Alina, I want you to ask a very important question. I'm just getting it more bumped up here. As humans, we just as the day rolls. Okay, we pray, we hope, and if you're struggling, on the other side, if you're not struggling, we just go by the flow, and then just like a river, the money is flowing all over the places, not for the essential cause which needs to go to the community. Yeah. So the two sides there. Can you tell us what are the signs the people can reflect on that they need a mindset program from you? Which will help us to just take the phone there, dial to you, or email some appointments for you. What does that
Yes.
tell people?
Yes, Debbie. So this is such a powerful question, such a profound question. So if you are having money and you are not happy about it, you haven't given it a purpose. If you perceive that no matter the amount in your bank account, you're not feeling fulfilled inside, if you have guilt and shame about your desires regarding your professional objectives, and you feel stuck in your mind, and you've tried everything, you've tried marketing, you've tried sales, but it just doesn't click. Oh, if you're not feeling worthy, and if you are putting yourself into context with people that are having what you want, but you're feeling so small, if you're afraid of not betraying your husband, wife, parents, grandparents while becoming rich, these are the main signs, but they are internal. The main signs that you're struggling at some point in your money relationship. You're stuck in between your own four walls of your perception, and so you have to dissolve those patterns in order for you to achieve what you want.
Okay, so it is about taking action. That's what it puts down to. You have to be taking action and
because it's a muscle, actually. If you learned 30 years that money is evil, you can allow yourself a few hours to change that, but you have to work on it. Yes, the apps are not made just by laying and sitting on Netflix.
Sure, sure. That's yeah. And so in terms of this phrase you might have heard about, necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah. Where there is a need, there is an invention happening. And I think that that's need to spark inside each one of us the necessity and the highest need, and so that they can reach out for that change of whatever the mindset they have been grown with. And very inspiring. So thank you for that. And I want you to now tell us one thing, our audience who's watching and listening to this podcast, one ritual they can actually practice daily to feel grounded so that yeah, they actually appreciate and thank you in their minds, even if they are not reaching you. But they will reach you, hopefully, because so far, I believe so, our audience would have got the value from whatever you have actually delivered in this podcast today, and your enormous work towards changing the human mindset and creating wealth, which is inspiring. So yeah, so I can't wait to hear that. One ritual
Yes.
you would recommend for us.
One ritual, Devi. So I want to choose one ritual. So I am going to be generous today, and I'm going to give two, if you allow me.
Sure. I love more than one, but I just wanted to turn one so that you don't feel more pressure. But we love to
Yeah,
have.
no, it's perfect. It's just your presence and the contact is just helping me feel inspired. So one is around money, and the other is about getting real results. And so the one around money, I would like people to imagine that everything around them is money, as in green, the green money, like the dollars or other types of money they have in their currency. So if you see in your surroundings, all the buildings, all the cars, all the a couch, a table, everything is money, and someone exchanged something, time, energy, their talent, their product for that, you will rapidly understand that you have to have fair exchange. And when you understand that you have to have fair exchange, I wanted to write what things can you provide, in what form, in order for you to get what you want, and then start talking with the right people and start from there. Maybe do the fair exchange in money or in other I mean consultancy time and so on. And the second, I want you, metaphorically, of course, think about what is your next big move, what scares you, and do it today. If you would apply this principle metaphorically, of course, if you're scared of dogs, you won't go to a
I am
dog.
scared of dogs. I have to admit in the podcast.
Yeah, so you won't do that. But I'm thinking of, I feel scared of uploading a video on my TikTok. I'm gonna do that. My intuition says that I'm scared about going to speak on a stage. I will do that. My mindset perceives that money is my enemy, and I am afraid of asking maybe 20% more than I do. I will do that and just break that barrier. If you do that daily with, I hope, more than one thing, it will help you grow exponentially. And this is actually what I've been doing from the start of the year. Whenever I hear my mind, Devi, that says, I can't do this, or I'm afraid to do this, I am going directly to that direction because I don't want to be controlled by that pattern. And it's been just amazing. In only 4 weeks, I think, in the only last 4 weeks, I've been traveling to 8 different cities, so internationally. So this is actually how we met.
Wow. Yeah, we met in one of the women's
In Yes, in London. Yes,
Yeah. And I'm grateful that we met actually, and
I
I'm
am too.
enjoying
I'm
the
too.
conversation now in this podcast. Yeah. Thank you, Alina, for those practical tips for that more than one ritual for the grounding method.
Yes,
And now, in terms of when you say that these things, the rituals, what people are doing, is there a kind of set of days they have to be doing this before they can see the results, or is it like you mentioned that you have to do it daily, and so is there a kind
yes,
of
for the rest of their lives.
until they reach
It's a
their
work.
okay, okay,
And
fine.
after you reach your objective, just do some more and put another hard thing to do on your list and just do it. And yeah, for the rest of their lives. Debbie, is something. I understand your question, and I just want to make a joke. It can happen today. It can happen in 6 months, but
Sure.
you can accelerate by taking responsibility of the action. If you're doing whatever it takes from your part, the result is only a consequence. It's not something you doubt or you wonder if it's going to come. It will. Just just do it and be full on.
Sure, sure. So putting all the trust in and keep doing it. And I think so, even after achieving, keep doing is to help to sustain like a maintenance program. And yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Alina, for that. Tell us how people can connect with you. Is there any specific ways they can connect with you, like your phone number? Obviously, I'll be putting down in our description
Yes.
box in the
Yes, of course.
um,
So I am actually going to give you a free resource that Deb is going to put a link to. It will help you understand your worth level, and it's a small gift from me there with a higher value, a small gift but with high value. But actually, if you're hearing Debbie's podcast, I do this only with very, very close people because I appreciate people's time and I appreciate mine as well. And time is a resource that doesn't come back. But I will gift you with 15 minutes call in order for you to know what are your main blocks. So if you want to double your revenue in the next 6 months in an aligned way, in an amazing with an amazing version of you, reach out. I'm on LinkedIn, Alina Hlipca-Radovici. Dev is going to put my link, and let's connect. Write that you've heard this amazing podcast. Just share it with your loved one, and we'll start from there.
Great, Alina, and thank you for actually providing all your contacts. And definitely, I'll put on the link. And really, thank you for giving that offer 15 minutes free session for people to identify
Thank
what are the
you.
blocks, and that's very essential. We have a lots of most of the UK businesses are small businesses where people are struggling to create that wealth and other things. And I hope that this podcast and your contributions to them would help many people in UK to help their business grow. And with that note, and I would also love to work with you. And I'm selling it in podcast, and I'll share my results after I work with you. So we're coming to a wrap up. Thank you for an empowering conversation today, Alina. And I hope our audience have already gone. You've given a lot of tools for them with a valuable insights and tools to take that action right away today, immediately after whatever time they're hearing this podcast, and reach out to you, or at least identify themselves and express the gratitude to you as a word of thank you that it worked. So I hope that will happen. And thank you again. And if you have last few words to share in the podcast.
Yes, thank you, Devi, for the invite. And I want to congratulate you if you heard this podcast. If you're still here, you chose yourself today. Just re-listen to it with a sheet of paper, with a pen, and write down the ideas. Let's connect and share it because Devi's cause and your money master are two things that really are a game changer on the long run. Thank you again, Devi, and
Thank you. Thank you,
everyone.
Alina. Bye. Bye. Have a good day. Bye. If today's episode has lit some spark inside you, share it with someone who really needs the reboot. You can connect with Alina through the link she has provided in the description box below, and I've linked it up in the description box, so you can go there and click it and connect with Alina for this prosperity and a good relationship with your wealth. And remember, the first real shift happens when you say yes to yourself. Until next time, signing off, Devi Sundar from Mind Body Podcast.